crystal. This is a lead glass, 24% lead glass. We actually get this from Dartington crystal, so it's old Dartington decanters melted down. So I'm going to start off the green by rolling it in this stuff here. So this little baking tray is filled with crushed green glass. So that's concentrated green glass. To make the glass go green, you add iron. To make them go any colour, you pretty much just add a different metal. So if you want pink, you add gold. If you want yellow, you add silver. Iron for green. And you get magnesium, purple, cobalt, blue. You get the idea, depending on what colour you want. Just add different metals. So, to pick it up, it's a bit like, well, that's what I think. You go to the ice cream shop and you want sprinkles and they just go, stick them on. And it just sort of is the same kind of thing. So they just stick into the surface of the glass. When it's hot, it does get quite sticky. It's sort of like a toffee or something. I think I'll go for another layer here. It's a bit like poster paint in the fact that the more you use, the stronger the colour gets. So, there we go. Now you'll also notice when I come out of the heat, that will have changed colour to an orange. Now that's just from using metals to colour the glass. Metal, when it goes hot, goes orange. So orange glass, when it goes hot, goes orange. So does black, so does yellow, so does pink, blue, green, purple. Everything's orange, which is fine. The only problems we really have with that are, you know, if someone sees something being made and they go, oh, I love that one, can we have that one that we saw? Oh, it's brilliant. And it's like, oh, certainly, come back the next day when it's cooled down, you can have it. They come in the next day and it's changed colour, it doesn't match the curtains anymore, and then it's a problem. I do always tell people, well, some people don't always hear me. There we go. So, just giving this a bit of a roll along this metal table here. Metal table is known as the marver. Originally, it's a Roman glassmaker's tool. It was made of a big slab of marble. They would roll the glass along. Roman word for marble apparently is marver, hence the name. Okay, so a little more heat, and I'm going to stick this into what's called an optic mould. Now, you two will probably be able to see it, this sort of tubular thing here. It's basically a cast iron mould with fillet on the inside, which means when I take this out, there we go. See, we've got lines in the surface there. So, that's hopefully going to give me a little bit of a pattern on this little bowl. So I think I'll make it a little bit swirly as well. To do that, I'll use the marver, this metal table here, and if I roll only in the one direction, hopefully that'll twist, go a bit like a screw thread. When I was first learning how to blow glass, I used to bring in his laundry, just hang it up all over. So you'd be trying to concentrate on keeping your piece on centre and make sure, you know, you didn't burn yourself, and you'd be looking at a pair of his Y fronts there. It was quite off-putting. But, you know, they got dry really quick. There we go. So, I'm going to shake this up a little. For that, I've got this tool here. This is wet newspaper. And that's it. There's no asbestos lining or anything like that. This is literally wet newspaper. It's folded into a pad, and I soaked it in water about half an hour before I started this morning. Oh, just to prove it. There we go. It's even the free newspaper that comes through the door. Because I am apparently a cheapskate. Well, plus, I don't really read it, and it does go in the recycling anyway, so I might as well use it.
What would they use before the newspapers? What was used before newspapers?
They would use the marver.
Yeah.
Also carved blocks. But they've used newspapers, I'd say, for about the last 200 years, something like that. It's quite a nice tool. It's flexible, so you can use it on small pieces or big pieces or whatever. And it's, yeah, carving blocks just like that one there. So those wooden tools, we still use like, you know, wooden boards and things. They're soaked in water. And traditionally they're made of fruitwoods. So it's apple, cherry or pear usually. Fruitwoods absorb a lot more water, which means they burn really slow. There we go. So, we've got the first bubble in here. You can see we've got some of those kind of stripes on the surface. There we go. If I make it a little closer, you can see as well. Now, it's not quite looking as green as it should yet, but we'll get there. And that's just a next flourish of the line. It's not really foreign. Now, I've got the whole thing kind of under control. I need to sort of look for that heat back up again. So I'll just leave it in there, keep it turning. There we go. Which is the main thing. The glass blowing is not so much about the blowing part, it's more about turning the glass and keeping everything cool. It's so bad I tend to rotate my fork at dinner. I kind of get used to it. It's not bad with spaghetti though. I can eat spaghetti quicker than anyone you've ever seen. I think I can be the most Italian to eat spaghetti. Okay, there we go. That's nice and fluky now. Brilliant. A little bit of everything at a time, so it's a little bit of shaping, a little bit of heating, a little bit of blowing. And as long as you keep small stages of stuff, it should be fine. So when you try and do everything at once, I think in general that's pretty true of life actually, when you try and do everything at once, you have a few problems. There we go. So, I'll need to break this off the end of the pipe reasonably soon, so what I'm going to do is put in a line of weakness. Now this is technically called a neckline, or a jack line. These tools are called jacks. It's two blades sprung together with sheet steel. By squeezing these over the surface, I'm creating this little line of weakness, and I'll use that to be able to snap this off the end of the pipe. So that's going to be the rim of the bowl. So that's the top, and that's the base. Stripes on there, certainly. There we go, once it's lit up you can probably see the pattern a little bit better. So I'll need to change the shape even, a little bit, blow it out a little bit more and then I'm about there. So as soon as I'm happy with what's on the end of the pipe, I'm going to take it off the pipe. It's a bit silly really, but that's how we do it. Okay, so I need to flatten off the base. Right now we've just got a bit of a big kind of Christmas ball thing, so I need a flat base to make it a bowl. So I'll do that with that wet wooden board. The one I'm using is cherry wood, which is definitely more expensive, but it's really good. This one I'm using is actually about 30 or 40 years old. So you can see the fact it's fruitwood means it does last an awful lot longer. There we go, I'm putting a slight dent in the base. Now that should mean this piece is going to sit a lot straighter on a table. They do this trick with, you know, wine bottles and that kind of thing, where it can sit on a rim and has that kind of dip in the middle. Although I think it also is because they put less wine in that way. That's my own theory. Okay, so that's a similar table for that. Which means you can take off here. So to do that, I'm going to add another rod on here, and then I can break it off there. So, give it a quick flash, and I'm going to go and get another bit of glass that's going to act a bit like glue. Known as punti. The word punti comes from the Italian word ponte, which means a bridge. The idea is, just like a bridge, it connects 2 points together. So it connects together this rod I've got in my right hand with a little bubble of glass. So, okay, luckily my arm's long enough. Heartwarming, part giving. Sad fact. Just keep that turning in the meantime. So, take this, place it on the base. I do apologise if not quite done yet. So, I've got that fixed onto the base and chilling the top. When the whole thing's hot, I've got one hot spot that comes a weak point. So, the tap, okay, just gives way at the top. Because we've got it stuck onto the base already, suddenly it's flipped over. So let's get this out of the top.
Oh, that's a gas.
Now normally that bit's the part the assistant does. I'd say myself, working with the assistant, that works about 99% of the time. When I'm working on my own, it's about 60% of the time. Although occasionally, like I had a group of teenagers in that were all like teenagers do. And I got to that point and I thwacked it and it fell off and I was chasing it around the floor and suddenly they got quite animated. It's funny when they wake up what happens. Here we go. So I'm heating this, getting the top nice and warm. I've got a tiny little hole at the top there. And I'm going to use the jacks again to open that. This is how we'd open, you know, a drinking glass or a wine glass or vase or anything like that. Just put those blades in. As long as you keep turning, you should get something reasonably round. So I think I'll open this a little bit more. I did take this bowl of popcorn, that's the next bit. Stripes on that. You look through, just sort of crisscross patterns, pretty. And that, once it cools down, will be a nice acid green. In fact, it's that colour. That was from earlier. I'm not going. But yeah, anyway, we'll have something a little bit like that. I may just even out the sides just slightly. But other than that, my little popcorn bowl is nearly done. Popcorn bowl, right? For a popcorn bowl, we need popcorn. Now glass is hot, popcorn needs heat. So the idea is, if I keep this turning, we might have snacks. So we'll see all.
You can hear it.
There we go. That's how you make popcorn.